everybody, how's it going? My name is Drew and welcome to Minecraft 1.8. Anyone that followed the series before, it has been a little while. I was trying to finish up the Quest Collector series, which I did. I say trying, I did finish it. But now we're back here in the 1.8 world and I'm ready to do some work, guys. I'm ready to play Minecraft here. Just to mention what was already here, we did have this road started. We had like the farm and most of the house, pretty much all of this house was already here. We did a little bit of work here in the world on camera, but off camera, I just did this. I expanded the road here. I'm just looking at the sky. It looks like I'm gonna have to sleep soon, but that's okay. I got a bed down here. There is a window there. We'll come back to that. That's actually new. But over here, we have the road extending and it just ends over here at the desert. But this is gonna be a hot topic today. Yes, the road system is gonna be a hot topic because it's gonna relate to the project that we're gonna be working on this video. But I just need to sleep really quick. I've talked about this on camera a few times. Oh, I got rid of the tree that was here. And I was thinking about doing a custom tree, which I still might do, but I just planted a sapling here. I don't know if it's actually going to grow like this or not. So this episode, we will be working on this side of the cliff. I've been meaning to terraform down here for a very, very long time. And I've been pushing it off for... Honestly, I don't know why. There's just other things I've been working on in the world. Now it's time for me to actually work on the hill, terraform a little bit, and extend the like the kind of narrow path that we have here. If you want to really call this a path, it's a very narrow staircase, but I would like to build kind of a deck / path over here that connects to the extended terrain that we will be adding, turning it into a staircase or adding a staircase here that will come down this way and link up to the road that we have stopping just over here. I would like a complete road system with ideally no dead ends if I can help it. There might be a couple. The idea of this world is we're really only completing this house that I started from over 10 years ago. And to do that, we need to finish the house itself. It's not really done, but I would like to finish just the outside area of the house too, meaning some really like we're not going to stray too far from this house. Like we'll never be really adding any projects like far outside and really any other biomes. So this is really the area of what we're actually going to be working on. So I guess I'll eat some steak right now. I'll head down to the bottom of this hill. I did leave some supplies here for us, meaning just a lot of dirt. And I guess the way we'll do this terraforming, the way we'll approach this terraforming, I guess we'll just kind of go from here, right? We'll just kind of build out. So this is also a good way to make sure that we're not leaving any hollow holes on the inside. I've done this quite a bit before in the past, and if anyone has followed my videos before, you'll know that I do have patience terraforming. It's the one thing in this game I really do have a lot of patience for. This would also be a pretty good time to talk about some other things that I had in mind. I did mention an SMP series that I was finishing. I was trying to finish up Quest Collectors, and that was a short-term SMP series that Chuckles and I were running, and it was our first time doing it. So we had a ball doing it. It seems like everybody that was part of Quest Collectors had a ball doing it. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, the series is now complete. You can watch the entirety of the series on my channel. It's only 12 episodes, so it's really not that hard to get into, I don't think. We also did put Cornerstone on hold as well. But Cornerstone, there's a lot to talk about because we will be oh, this is actually coming along pretty nicely. Huh. I was expecting a little bit more of a mess to look at, but this is actually looking pretty good. We are starting a new season of Cornerstone. Yes, that's right. We will be doing Cornerstone Season 3 when 1.21 drops, or shortly after, because usually we wait for the update to be pretty stable, and then we also need mods to update as well. So we will be working on that. That's coming hopefully sooner rather than later. That also makes me think about what this series is going to look like too, just because I'm trying to finish this series before we start Cornerstone Season 3. But the thing about that too is that I don't want this series to feel rushed, right? So we're at a pretty good point of this series where we've already done, it feels like we've already done quite a bit of work. And I am trying to do a little bit more work off camera too, just to kind of speed up the process a bit. But I also want to do it in a way where I'm not really like leaving you guys out. It's basically what we're trying to do is finish up this series so we can move on peacefully to Cornerstone Season 3 when the time is right. That's kind of a challenge for me just because I'm trying to balance the two series. I wouldn't mind going into it. So we had, you know, two series on the go at the same time, which is not a sin by any means. I've done it a million times before, but it's just what I'm trying to avoid right now, because if I do have another series going on at the same time as Cornerstone Season 3, I would like for it to be Season 2 of like the long Let's Play series that I've been talking about earlier in this series too. Yeah, but how's this looking? This is looking pretty good, I will say. I will probably move this out just a little bit more, maybe this way. I think so. I'm not usually used to terraforming anything like this steep. And usually when you have something this steep in Minecraft, there's stone. Actually, I am going to light this up and just kind of fill that in. I hope that's okay. But usually when something is steep, right, there's stone in it as well, because it is like a pretty harsh cliff. So I think we will come back to this cliff eventually, and we will add some stone to it as well, right? So how's that looking? That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool, actually. Just for the meantime, I would like to try to get the dirt in, because it is like the most breakable block, right? You know, I can break it by hand pretty easily. So if I do need to edit this cliff, I would prefer to edit it while it's in dirt, right? Yeah, I think it's looking okay. And obviously it will turn to grass. A lot of that dirt will turn to grass, and we can even add some bone meal on it too. But I think for the most part, this is pretty much it. I think we've already kind of terraformed this part of the hill as best as we could, right? I think so. Now, it's just this part over here, because I was talking about the staircase, right? Now, in my head, I was picturing the staircase to look a little bit different than what we're probably going to build, and that's because I was imagining the cliff to look a little bit different. Well, I guess the best way to do it is to actually get stairs themselves. So we will grab the oak stairs. They probably will be oak stairs. I'm not too picky about the resources in this world either. It's a short-term world. I'm trying to keep the same aesthetic as what I had going on 10 years ago. So obviously this house is just a big wooden blob, right? So honestly, wood seems to kind of be the theme, not just of my building in general, but, you know, just to keep the whole spirit of the house. And I do need to sleep. I hope there's still a bed down here. Right here. Perfect. So maybe we could have some of the stairs like this. It could go up like that, and then it will need to connect up here somehow. But how are we going to do that? I guess like this, right? It'll have to be like this. I would like the stairs to be 2 blocks wide at least. So let's see if we can kind of keep that going up here. But it is going to feel a little bit tight. It is going to come out a little far. So we will need more slabs. So let's go make some slabs right now. I'm sure I do have some in it. The tree grew. Well, we can get our slabs right here. There's no way I'm keeping this tree. Yeah, so everyone's pretty excited for Cornerstone Season 3. We are going to have some new people joining that I'll leave either as a surprise, or I'll let them announce it on their own terms. It's going to be a little bit different than the other seasons that we did, because the other seasons that we did were pretty vanilla, right? But we will be using the same Terralith mod that we were using for Quest Collector. So if you want to see how that generation is going to look for Cornerstone Season 3, at least just check out, like, part of an episode of my Quest Collector series, not trying to sell the series or anything, but just check out a little piece of it, and that will actually tell you what the generation is going to look like for Cornerstone Season 3. So that's pretty exciting for us, and I think I would like to bring this down just like this. Coming back to the future of this series too that you're watching right now, I do have a small list of things that I would like to complete in this world. Nothing too serious, but just a small checklist on everything I think that would make this world feel a lot more complete when it's done. And I think I will need more dirt. I'll take the rest of the dirt that I have now, and I'll try to terraform this a little bit just to try to make the stairs look a little bit more natural, I think, on the cliff. But we got to be very careful too. Like, this has to be pretty steep just because we have the wheat farm here too. But I guess we could maybe change a little bit of the wheat farm. You know, it's a pretty big farm. We don't need anything this big, so we can actually just kind of come out a little bit further if we need to. So I guess I'm okay with that. I'm also trying to be a little bit more lenient when I play Minecraft, like just in terms of what I do for builds and how picky I am with the final product of my builds. Never really been a perfectionist, but even that, I'm still trying to be less of what I've been. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Even though I haven't been a perfectionist. Oh yeah, I forgot. This is actually going to be kind of like a deck, so this can come out. That can kind of hover over, right? And we could probably use some fences to make it look like it's held up. So we could probably do something like that too. And the stairs up like this. I'm okay without there being a railing too. They don't really look like that they've been engraved into the mountain. It kind of looks like that they were just kind of placed on top of the mountain. And what I mean by that is usually I like the stairs kind of coming up. Say, you know, these were like oak logs. But in this case, it just kind of looks like that it's sitting here on top of the cliff, which is kind of the nice look that I'd like to give it right now. And then yeah, we can just kind of maybe use some fences here to hold up the deck. Or actually, we'll pretend that these are logs here, but we could even maybe have some logs come up like this just to make it look like that the logs are holding up the deck. Let's go down by this tree and look over and see. Oh, okay, no, I think there just have to be more work done to this. It's not really looking the best right now, I don't think. But it feels okay up here. It's just when we were down there, it looked a little off. And maybe it had something to do with maybe the bottom of the cliff down here. Maybe the base of the cliff looks a little off, or maybe there just needs to be more stone. Maybe there needs to be grass. There, I think I made the cliff a little bit more wider on this end over here, so maybe it's going to look a little bit more normal. Yeah, okay, it's looking a little bit more normal. I think I just had to kind of make it look a little bit thicker, but now it's looking a little too plain, so we do have to add some more kind of depth in front of it. But I think it's gonna be okay for now. At least it's something to work with, right? And at least, hey, like, even though it's not done, at least we have stairs here, because I can't tell you how frustrated I was for the longest time, just constantly having to jump up everything. So at least we have stairs here now. But how are we gonna make this look a little bit more open? It's just, this is all narrow here, and this is pretty narrow when you come up in here. But once you come here, it opens up. So I'm wondering if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Been working on a couple things off camera, and one of the rooms that I was working on, trying to kind of finish, was the furnace room. Just make it look a little bit more polished and kind of ready to go, I think, in terms of talking about like when we're ready to call the house done. But I added some upside down stairs on the ceiling. Just organized the chests a little bit differently. Just trying something a little new. I'm not really overthinking a lot of this house. I'm trying to keep it simple. The entirety of the house is kind of simple as it is. So I thought I'd just kind of keep that same like simplicity when I actually come back to finish up the rooms. I don't know if I'll necessarily call the furnace room here done, but it at least looks a lot more complete. And if we were to end the series today, I would be okay with it. The only thing I'm not really okay with is like the carpet here. I was trying with like some different carpet designs, maybe something like that. Maybe that looks a little bit different, but I was playing with the carpet for a little while because I thought that it needed something, right? And I did see outside, yes, that's right, the sun is setting, so I guess I'll go upstairs and sleep real quick. I wanted to come back and talk about this window too, because the path that we had, that we expanded, is just right out there. Now, I don't know if I really like it. I think all in all, I'll probably just end up covering this and it'll look like that we're completely underground again. I just wanted to know because I was digging out, what was I doing? I think I was digging out the walls here because I was going to try to finish the staircase here, and I noticed that this went out, like there really wasn't much covering down here. So I decided to build this window and just wanted to know if it looked okay. But to show you the outside again, this is what it's looking like. I tried making it as natural as possible, but yeah, it's just... I think I would need to add more leaves like scattered throughout the hill just so it doesn't stick out like a whole lot. I really didn't know how else to kind of cover it because it just looked a little weird with glass and just plain grass and dirt sitting around it. So I tried to make it look a little bit more full, a little bit more interesting, but I'm really struggling with it. So I think I'll take the easy way out. I'll just take out the window and make this hill look natural again. And the lobby is another thing too that I've... Oh, hi, hey, how you doing? Gosh, I hate this. Oh my gosh, he's right there. Oh, I hate this so much. Oh, I don't want any of this blown up. Oh, what do I do? Okay, let's take you out over here. At least he's easy to follow me, right? He tracks me pretty easy, so I don't mind if he blows up over here, for example. But I noticed, too, in 1.8... Oh, that's bad. He's gonna blow up. I remember that I could do this, too, back in the day. I forgot before shields. I noticed, like, just in Minecraft 1.8, or at least before the combat update, most swords just, like, there's a knockback, like a natural knockback when you hit most mobs. I'll have to show you when I remember. I was going to try to show you then, but that was a bad example of a creeper blowing up. Oh, and this tree, too. This tree finally grew, and it was a pretty decent height, but it looked a little off, so I added some leaves underneath, so it's, like, kind of half custom in a way. it probably needs a little bit more. I can already think of maybe a couple other small things I would do to this tree, but I think we'll pretty much go with this tree here. This might be the final look, other than just some extra leaves we might add on top, but that's about it. I think it looks pretty cool. That's about the right size, I would say so too. And moving back in here, before the creeper interrupted us, I have no idea where that guy came from. Oh, he must have came from outside, maybe? No way he came down there. So yeah, I think he just came from outside and he made his way over, right? So this lobby here, this is the first time I've ever actually called this place the lobby. I never really had a room name for this room other than it just being the main room, quote unquote. There's a couple things that were brought to my attention. I think it was haphazardous a while ago. I can try to find the comment to remember for sure. But I think upstairs, like this is the only block here, the only layer that actually covers the upstairs. So our ceiling here is also the floor above us. We can try to take out some of the floor here and have kind of like a look down balcony, like just a balcony, I guess. So if we had a hole here, we could add some fences around, and then it could place for like down here would be like a balcony to like look up on, and we could actually see like the rest of the upstairs, which would be very high, right? So that's something that we could do. I was kind of playing against that idea earlier because I'm trying to keep this house as original as possible, and it's always looked like this for like the last 10 years, but you know, keep the original blocks, just add on to it. I don't really want to change the original blocks, but that's probably going to be something that will end up looking a lot better. So I did need to finish up around here too. If it looks any different whatsoever, it's because I had to add more of these posts over here, and I ended up adding the upside down stairs too, just to kind of help with a more of a finished look in here. But I think it's looking pretty good. And the lighting too, the lighting around my world, all we're using really, and there's no lighting over here even, but all we're using around my world is just torches. We're just spamming torches everywhere, and that's not really the route I would like to go. I don't mind strategically placing torches so they're organized, but I really would like to find a better way to actually light up this floor without having torches actually sitting on the floor. So that's something that we're gonna have to think about as well. I kind of have some ideas that we can talk about later, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see. That's one of those things I need ideas for, like lighting in the world. And if you guys see anything around the house that you think could actually look pretty good, like the floor in there, tearing it out and making it a little bit of a balcony upstairs, I need more ideas like that in my world, especially from you guys, because I can't think of all this stuff. I know I try, but I really can't. But talking about blocks I haven't really wanted to change, I think the back of the house is a prime example of that. I had done a lot of work back here way back in the day that didn't save for this file of the world, but I know I did more work back here, and I would like to try to keep the original blocks, but I feel like a lot of the back end of this house is going to have to change because just the way that the windows are, it's a little too random, I think. I think it needs a little bit more of a pattern. But if we are going to keep it random, I think there is a better way that we can do it. I laid down the stone there for a little bit of a foundation for this part of the house, but we will have to cover up the rail station here, the mini rail station, and extend the staircase going down mostly towards where the cave is underneath us, because I did start a strip mine under there that I would like to connect to like an actual mine portion of the house. So that's another thing that we're going to have to do eventually, right? With all that being said, guys, I think this is looking pretty freaking good now, if I do say so myself. I'm actually getting really, really happy with how this is looking. I did end up adding the stone. I tried adding a little bit more stone on this side of the stairs, on the left side, and then on the right side a little bit less, and I think I'm liking the style with less, but honestly, I might kind of like how it's looking right now already, just kind of as it is. I did end up placing more dirt, and especially here too, where the wheat farm is, I did have to break a few wheat blocks just to extend the cliff out because it did look a little too flat on this side. So I brought these blocks out a little bit, and I think that does look nice. And up here too, I added some. I'm trying to. Sorry, my thoughts are all over the place. I added some coarse dirt here on the wall just to give it a little bit more texture. I think that looks kind of cool, and I'm trying to make it look like a little bit of the dirt's kind of like falling onto the wood path a little bit, and I have more of that up here too. But yeah, I didn't really know what to do. When in doubt, just add a chest because there's never too much storage in your world. And a crafting bench, I think, can stay there. And I played with the fences. I think it kind of looks nice to have a little bit of a broken fence look here because it actually still works, right? It still works as a regular fence. I can't get off, but it's not too much. I'm not really overdoing it. But coming down this way, like when, we leave the house, I should go sleep. I should go sleep before I continue talking because I'm going to have creepers in my house again. But what I was about to say before before is say we're leaving our house, right? We're coming out of our house. We're looking at our brand new custom tree. Gosh, it looks so good, especially in the future, right? When we fix it all. But it's going to look so good. And we're walking this way. And then we have a little bit of a fork in the road. And I really like this, how narrow and kind of natural wooden and rickety this fork in the road looks, because we could keep going down here towards like our fishing shack over there, or we could actually go over to the desert, and that would be over this way. And I think it's looking pretty good, if I do say so myself. The stairs look pretty natural, and I did leave this coarse dirt here to mark where our path is going to go in the future and connect back around, so it will come out to the desert. I don't know exactly which desert blocks we're going to be using for the path here. Probably just sandstone, I guess, and maybe some gravel, maybe some coarse dirt. We'll figure it out. I think someday I probably will have a bridge across here too, because I find that I do take that bridge a lot. But now that we do have these stairs here, I'm really curious on how much I will actually take that bridge, because I can also imagine there being a staircase in the back of the house someday that will link up to probably the top part, because I do have a back door upstairs. You can't really see it, but it actually is kind of right there, right? So we will have a back deck eventually, and I think there will be another staircase coming down, so that will kind of, you know, if we're back here, we need to get in the house, so we don't have to walk all the way to the front. There will be a back door, and maybe, just maybe, a side door over here. Maybe we could do a side door on the other side, on the other side of the house. But there's lots to do, guys. There's lots to talk about. I would like to try to get this series done this summer, hopefully before just when Cornerstone Season 3 is starting. That's kind of the plan. And I actually did forget one more thing I wanted to talk about, because I think I did do this earlier in the series, and I was trying it out when we were playing with the roof here, or maybe not, maybe it was actually something else. But I did add some upside down stairs and some fences over here just under the window, and I think it could look okay, but we do need to maybe move it down a block, because the fences cover up the window just a little bit too much for my liking. But if we come over here, we can get a better idea of it, right? So I think you understand what I mean. But like I said, we'll probably just move it down a little bit and we'll go from there. But I think that's really the last detail that I wanted to talk about. Other than that, I think we got a lot of stuff done this episode. And I will come up here, and you know what? Just because I don't have the zoom in feature, because I'm playing like vanilla, we can actually do this and hit FOV, and we can get a better idea on what everything looks like. So I think this looks really cool, guys. I'm actually really, really satisfied with how this looks. This has been a long time coming. I've been meaning to do this for a long time. Oh, we got this weird world generation glitch, but if I... Whoa! Take a screenshot of that. But I think this is looking really cool, guys. I'm really happy with it. I hope you guys like it too. But I want more of the world to actually look like this, right? Especially things around the house. The cave is another area I'd like to do something special with. I would like to maybe add a barn in the future too, and then do some stuff to the backyard, and then finish the interior to the house. Other than that, I don't really think there's a whole lot left. Maybe a bridge there. Maybe make the portal area look a little bit better. And I think that's really it. I think that's really all we got to do. Now, I did also mention the small minecart station that we have at the back of the house. Originally, my plan was to kind of have a small redstone setup to like choose which direction you'd want to go. But I think maybe we pick a destination in this world. Maybe the spawn, because we spawned over in the jungle, right? So I think maybe we just have a rail going from the house to spawn. So if we ever do die and we lose our spawn, and we do go back to the jungle when we spawn back into the world, we can just take a minecart over there and get back to the house quick and safe. I think that might be the best thing to do with that small minecart station. Other than that, I don't think there's really going to be any need to make any minecart systems going out too far from the house, because like I said, everything's going to be pretty grounded in the series. Everything's going to be pretty close. But I think what I'd like to do sometime in the future too, see, I think this is the way that the creeper came in, but one thing I'd like to do in the future is to get set up on some enchanted tools and armor and stuff like that, especially some diamond stuff. I know I was kind of shying away from it before, but I did realize that you could repair stuff with adding diamonds to everything with an anvil. I was a little turned away from it in the beginning because there's no mending. This is like one update before mending. However, now knowing that we can use diamonds to just repair all our enchanted stuff, I think that's something that we can actually invest in. So if I do that off camera, then so be it. But if you guys want to go on for the adventure, let me know. Comment below, what do you want to see me do? What's one thing that I'm probably going to do that you guys are going to want to tag along for in this series. Let me know, guys. Let me know. But as always, guys, if you watched this far in the video, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you for the next episode of Minecraft 1.8.